All right. Hello, y'all. We're going to continue with the word of the Most High, dealing with humility, being humble. Go to Romans, the 12th chapter, the 3rd verse, which is contrary to being prideful. And it reads, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, every man that is among us, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, not to be prideful, and to think of himself highly more than he ought to think, but to think soberly, be focused, think soberly, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith." See? As the Most High have dealt to every man a measure of faith, and believing in him. Romans 12 and 10. It says, "Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another." It says, "Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love." With brotherly love. In honor, preferring one another. Preferring one another as we as the Israelites. Preferring your brother as an Israelite before anyone. And be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love. Not going to happen if you are arrogant, you conceited, you prideful, and you think of yourself all that. When you're not all that. Listen. Go to verse 16. "Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things." Don't think that you all that. That's why he said, mind not high things. Mind not high things. Mind not high things. Pride, being prideful, being arrogant. "But condescend to men of low estate," men that have humility. "Be not wise in your own conceits." Don't be wise in your own mind. That's why the Most High told us, go back to 2nd Ezra 8. "As we showed you through the spirit of what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High, that you have not counted yourself as being righteous." You humbled yourself first and foremost, and not accounted thyself as being one of the righteous, right? So what did he say? In verse 51, 2nd Ezra 8:51, he says, "But understand thou for thyself," as we just read, "and seek out the glory for such as be like thee." Seek out the glory of such as be like Ezra. How was Ezra? Verse 48, "And this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, in that thou hast humbled thyself." Seek out those that are humble, as it becometh thee, "and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous." This is a change that somebody have to have. A lot of brothers have to have to be able to fulfill what this is saying. Do not account yourself as one of the righteous. But as we read in Daniel, in the book of Ezra, previously, how they say we have sinned, including themselves, even though they were righteous. This is marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. That's how you be humble. Not that you all that like the Pharisee, looking down upon the publican who was a tax collector, and thinking that he's better than him, praying to himself. He ain't praying to the Most High. About to say he's praying to himself, as it is written. Now you think you praying to the Most High, you praying to yourself, if you ain't humble. And look at the Most High say he loved Jacob. I say it all the time. Most High love his people. You're going to determine who he love and who he don't love, or who he going to call and who he not going to call. So now you doing the calling and the choosing. I don't think so. Because you're going to be able to tell me your number before the Most High of the 144,000. You're going to be able to tell me your number of the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. We more numerous than the sand of the sea and the stars in the sky. Which one are you? That's why I say you got to humble yourself. Most High want humility, and he want a broken and contrite spirit. That's why he said, in that thou hast humbled thyself, as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, and we in the last days, y'all. He told them many great miseries going to be done to them that live in these days that we live in now, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Hear that? Because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself. See, understand this for yourself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So, you can look for all the ones that's like you and be in pride for all you want to, but Most High telling Ezra to seek out those that are humble, that not count themselves as one of the righteous, that have humility, that's humbling themselves. Because the great misery is going to be done to those that in these last days have pride, that are prideful. Verse 52, for unto you that have humbled themselves and not accounted themselves as being one of the righteous, but unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. You hear that? The time to come is prepared. It's prepared, people. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded. A city is builded. And rest is allowed. Yeah. Perfect goodness and wisdom. It's already prepared, y'all. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. You're going to remember this place. It's going to be unrememberable. If that is a word. We're not going to remember Babylon the Great. We're going to remember wherever we are scattered. There'll be no remembrance of this life that we live in right now. Sorrows are past. No more crying, no more tears, no more sadness. And in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. In the end, we're going to be able to live forever and ever and ever and ever. Hallelujah. That's what's promised to us. What more could you ask for? To live forever? Never have to die? Look at 1 Corinthians 3. 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. First Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. And verse 18. 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. Don't let nobody deceive yourself. Don't be deceived. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. Let him become a fool that he may be wise. Don't think that he's all that. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. You know? The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, thinking they know it all, thinking that they are operating in the way that the Most High would have them operate, or some don't even care. That's why he say for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. Foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Most High knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. You hear that? He know the thoughts of the wise of this world, that they are vain. They are vain. Worthless. That's why he said in 2nd Ezra 9:22. 2nd Ezra 9:22. So let the multitude perish then. That's the multitude of people that's born in this world. So let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Hear that? Which was born in vain. That's what he's saying, man. He said that in 1 Corinthians 3:20. And again, the Most High knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. What did he say? Of this world. People think they wise in this world. He said, let the multitude perish then. 2nd Ezra 9:22. Which was born in vain. That's deep. Some people are born in vain just for that multitude. Just for that multitude, the number of that multitude. Let the multitude perish then. Majority of the people, let them perish then. Which was born in vain. And let my grape be kept, and my plant. Let my grape be kept, and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect. Hear that? He said, with great labor have he made it perfect. That's why he said. Great labor have the Most High made those of his chosen in the end, that endure unto the end, perfect. Look at 1 Corinthians 4:6. We're dealing with humility, which is contrary to being prideful or arrogant or thinking you all that. 1 Corinthians 4:6. And these things, brethren, I have in a figure transferred to myself and to Apollos for your sakes, that ye might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written. They'd be an example. Like we have to be examples. That you learn in us not to think of men above that which is written, that no one of you be puffed up for one against another. Don't be puffed up one against another. Now, that's not talking about things that can help a brother to be better in the walk of this world. It's not talking about that. It's talking about, like, I think I'm better than this particular brother or that brother, this brother, that brother. That's Most High no respect to person. So who am I to have respect to person, think I'm all that? And the Most High say he loved Jacob. Or you to think you all that and you hating on your brother. And who the Most High say he loved. And you don't know if it's a little one or not. You don't have a clue. Just by your vain opinion. And the evil suspicion overthrown the judgment make you make the devil that came in and make you make the wrong judgment. Now, whatever we can use for each other to become better in this word, for our people understanding, it's not what he's talking about. But he's talking about because you know something. I tell you, knowledge puffers up. So now you know something. Now you are better or greater than somebody else. No. That's why he's telling you. We got to be an examples as leaders. That ye might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written, that no one of you be puffed up for one against another. Don't be puffed up against your brother. We all we have. And some people hear the fact of what the Spirit is bringing forth, that you should hear, which I'm hearing as I'm going over these scriptures, to continue to change, to be better in the eyes of the Most High. I don't care about no man, because Most High no respect to persons. It's about having respect to the Most High and what He's had holy men write to make us change, to be better, to humble ourselves, and not to be puffed up thinking you all that. When the Most High say, He gonna bring you down, He gonna bring you low, thinking you somebody. Who are you in hell, really? That's why the Most High say He hate a poor man that's prideful. Pride go before what? You answer. Well, we gotta be humble. Men and women. But if you follow someone that's prideful, you're going to be the same way. You're going to think this is the way it is to be an Israelite. I'm the chosen. I'm better than you. I'm this, that, and third. You ain't nothing as you ought to be. Until you made it 2,000 years of learning of the Most High and make it into your change. To live forever and ever and ever. That's when you say you're somebody. Or you can really feel that you're somebody. You got eternal life. And you ain't gonna feel sad no more. You gonna be crying no more. Ain't no more criminals. Ain't no more nothing that's negative. It's gonna be all positive energies. See, understand this and understand this. We was there. We had it. We wasn't messed up. We had everything that you can imagine and can't imagine because it ain't last that long. But look what the Most High said. Let me get a Bible I can read. It's a lot, kid. 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. And look at verse 18 and 19. Listen to what it says. 2nd Ezra 9 and 18. It said, now when I prepared the world. Suppose I said when He prepared the world. That we in now. Which was not yet made. This before. This is the first chapter, the first verse. Because it was not made. And now before I prepare the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live. When He prepared the world for us to live in, that we live in now. No man spake against me. Hear that? In the beginning, nobody spake against the Most High. No man spake against me. No man spoke against the Most High when He made the world. For then everyone obeyed. That's how it's going to be in the kingdom. For then everyone obeyed. Nobody was transgressing the laws of the Most High. Obeyed mean they followed what the Most High said. But now the manners of them which are created in this world, the people that's coming in this world, being born into this world that is made, are corrupted by a perpetual seed. Especially now. Because you are a bunch of goats. You are following the way of the evil, the wicked. Corrupted by a perpetual seed of wickedness, of evil. Of those that transgress the laws of the Most High, thinking this is right. This is hip. And you're going to perish if you don't change. They become a new creature. And by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. See, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril, danger. He considered the world that we in now, and it was danger because of the devices that were coming to it. Because of the way that people think, the way that people act, the devices that came into it. You see? All the wickedness that they're doing. And set up to bring forth more wickedness through their media, the internet, videos, TV shows, World Star, you name it. Through all the plight that we going through, you still got all this wickedness going and people thinking that this is normal. The mindset of people. being prideful. And thinking that this is the way it's supposed to be. Because you come into a world that's prideful. First Corinthians 10. First Corinthians 10 and 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. You think you standing? You better take heed. If you stand, you got to stand right. You know. But the Most High said, go to, you want to stand like this. Psalm 94 and 16. Psalm 94 and 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Who will rise up for the Most High against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? You're going to rise up for the Most High. You want to stand for this. He said, who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Those that are doing evil, transgressing the laws, such commandments of the Most High. Or who will stand up for me? Stand up for the Most High. You want to stand up for the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And his rules and regulations, his laws, such commandments. Against the workers of iniquity. Those that are doing the things that are contrary to the laws, such commandments of the Most High. His rules and regulations. His ordinances, his commandments, his covenant. Who's going to do it? Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. In the Apocrypha. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Great boldness. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Where? Before the face of such as have afflicted him, put him in captivity, slavery, and bondage, and made no account of his labors, saying we lazy. We worked last year, amounted up to 400 years. Free labor. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Could be amazed at the strangeness of how we're going to be delivered, how we're going to be saved. So far beyond all that they look for. It's going to be so far beyond all they look for. That's why in the kingdom, here we are. Let's go to the kingdom. That's why it's very important. Isaiah 60th chapter, the 21st verse. Isaiah 60th chapter, the 21st verse. Thy people, 12 tribes of Israel, also shall be all righteous. Hear that? It says, the Most High's people, we the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. We're going to inherit the land forever. The branch of my plant. That's what the Most High going to do. He's going to plant us in the land. He said, the branch of my planting. So let no man persuade you to think that he got something going on. Most High said, this the branch of his planting. This is what he gonna do. The work of my hands. That's the work of the Most High's hands. Not no man. Let me tell you in Deuteronomy 28 and 29, ain't no man gonna save us. No man shall save you. Understand this, overstand this. Understand this, brothers and sisters. No man gonna save us. He said, the work of my hands. Hear what he said? That I, the Most High, may be glorified, not man. See, that's what happens when you follow man. That's, you know, a man see he's got some kind of authority in this earth. That's, you know, he's exalted above the Most High. Ain't nobody talking about the Most High. Ain't nobody talking about the Most High. You're talking about Israelites. We as the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Most High ain't exalted no more. He said that I may be glorified. The Most High God be glorified. Remember, he said, thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. So we're going to inherit the land forever. Forever and ever and ever. The children of Israel, we got next. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. He let you know in the kingdom we're going to be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. Isaiah 60 and 21. The branch of my plan. This is what the Most High going to do. Not no man. The work of my hands. The work of the Most High's hands. He's going to do this. Not no man. That I may be glorified. Hear that? That the Most High could be glorified. He said, a little one shall become 1,000. A little one going to become 1,000. A little one going to become 1,000 in this righteous kingdom. And a small one, a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time. Most High going to bring it forth. That's why it's important that we understand how to be before the Most High. That's what's important. Nothing more important to me. I can't find nothing more important than how we're going to be before him. Galatians 5, the 5th chapter. Galatians, the 5th chapter. We're looking at humility, y'all. Looking at being humble. Galatians, the 5th chapter. The book of Galatians is talking to the 12 tribes of Israel that are scattered in the land of Galatia. Galatians, the 5th chapter, the 26th verse. Let us not be desirous of vainglory. Don't be desirous of vainglory, it's saying. Vainglory, worthless glory, unmerited glory that mean nothing to the Most High. Let us not be desirous of vainglory. Want to be somebody in hell. Provoking one another. Provoking one another. You know. Envying one another. We ain't supposed to be doing this. You ain't supposed to be envying. When you envy someone, you become jealous of them. That's not right. That's contrary to the way the Most High wants us to be. What if he was like that? What if he was like, you that way, I'll just cut you off. Then what? Then he'll get our attention. That's what. We'll change. We'll change real quick. Ephesians 4 and 1. Ephesians 4 and 1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Most High, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation or the job wherewith ye are called. You walk worthy of the job that the Most High has given you in this truth, called you into, in the body of a Mashiach, whatever it is. With all lowliness and meekness. Hear that? With all lowliness, with all humility and meekness. With long suffering. Suffering a long time. Not being impatient. To suffer long, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. With long suffering. Forbearing one another in love. See? You gotta forbear one another in love. Keeping of the commandments of the Most High and having compassion one toward another. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. In the bond of peace, which is contrary to being in a spirit of war. Against your brother. Hating on your brother, envying your brother, being jealous of your brother. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit. Read Psalms 133 and let it seek into your spirit. Understand and overstand. And be a part of the body of a Mashiach Yahushua. And not of your own consciousness being wicked in the way you think and the way you operate. There's going to be a judgment. We're going to pay now, we're going to pay later, but we're going to pay. That's why we got to really look at what it is that's being said. To be able to not do what's wrong, but do what's right. And be righteous in the eyes of the Most High. Which is most important. It's most important, brothers and sisters. Nothing else really, we could say matters to the point of doing opposite of what we're going over right now. And being humble before the Most High. Look at we're in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 4. There is one body. There's one body. And one spirit. And one spirit. Even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. Even as you are called in one hope of your calling. One master, one faith, one baptism, one power, and Father of all, the Most High, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace, which is getting something you don't deserve, according to the measure of the gift of a Mashiach. The gift of a Mashiach, which is Spirit of the Most High. That the prophets had. That we have. Being Mashiachim. That's why he say, yeah, Mashiachim. We are the Messiahs. Mashiach is the Most High. As it is written. Now from there, let's look at Colossians. Go to the book of Colossians, the 3rd chapter. Colossians 3. Verse 12. Colossians 3 and 12. put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved. Let's deal with that, because that beloved, a lot of people look at that and say, oh, that's anybody that call on the name of the Lord. But is that true according to the Bible? Who is the beloved? Let's find out. Oh, it's right there. Baruch, the 3rd chapter, the 36th verse. Baruch, the 3rd chapter, the 36th verse. He hath found out all the way of knowledge. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, his servant. He hath found out all the ways of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved. You see? Unto the Israelites his beloved. So nobody else has the Most High called his beloved. I like to see it. If you can find it, I'd most certainly like to see it. So now, when you see beloved, you know it's talking about the Israelites. Colossians 3 and 12. But put on therefore as the elect of the Most High. The elect of the Most High. Who's the elect of the Most High? As the elect of the Most High. And we go to the first verses of these chapters and it proves who it's talking to point blank. It's not talking to everyone, but everybody wants to try and say it's talking about them. It's not. Isaiah 45 and 4 proves who the elect are in this Bible. For Jacob my servant's sake. For Jacob my servant's sake. And Israel, the Israelites, mine elect. See? So the Israelites are the Most High's elect. That's why we just need that little. You say precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, and there a little. We just need that little to prove who the elect are. That's the subject matter. I went there to prove who the elect are. So when you see in Colossians 3 and 12, say, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High. We just proved the elect are the Israelites. In Isaiah 45 and 4. Holy and beloved, we prove who the beloved is. You want to know who the holy is supposed to be? Most High said what? Holy and beloved. He told us this. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Deuteronomy 1 and 1 show you who it's talking to, just to prove it. So you ain't going to be thinking it's talking about everybody else. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness, right? All the 12 tribes of Israel. So what did he say in Deuteronomy 7 and 6? He said holy, right? Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Who's holy? For thou art an holy people. The 12 tribes of Israel. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power, your power. The Most High hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? So now, going back to Colossians 3 and 12, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, as the Israelites who are the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved. Holy, we just said, the Most High said we are holy people. 12 tribes of Israel. And beloved, we prove who the beloved are. In Baruch 4 and 36. Bowels of mercies. That's what he's telling us to do. Bowels of mercies. Kindness. See? Kindness. Kindness. Humbleness of mind. Humility in the way you think. Humbleness of mind. Meekness. Long suffering. Long suffering. Forbearing one another. Forbearing one another. And forgiving one another. Oh, this is a big one. People be holding grudges and being sinful for years and years and years. He says, forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Mashiach forgave you, so also do ye. He said, you got to forgive. You got a problem with your brother. You got to forgive. As Mashiach Rashad forgave you, so also ye do. And above all these things, put on charity, which is love, compassion, which is the bond of perfectness. Let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, which is your mind. Let the peace of the Most High rule in your minds, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. See, let the word of a Mashiach Yahushua dwell in you, which is the word of the Most High. Let it dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Most High. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, whatever you do, in what you say or whatever you do in action, do all in the name of the anointed Savior, in the name of the anointed Savior, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father. How we do it? By Him. In the name of the anointed Savior. Say, no man come to the Father but by Him. So you ask anything in my name, I will do it, that the Father can be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments, He said. St. John 14:6, St. John 14:13-15. He said, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as it is fit by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So that's what the law said from Genesis 3:16. That's why He's saying the law again. He said, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands, as it is fit in the Most High. Husband, love your wives, and be not bitter against them. That's what a husband got to love our wives. And don't be bitter toward them. Children, obey your parents in all things. It's the first commandment of promise. For this is well pleasing unto the Most High. Father, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Don't provoke them to anger, lest they're going to be discouraged. Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh. And the masters, like the teachers, according to the flesh. According to the flesh. As they before you. Not in eye service. Not in eye service. As men pleasers. Don't be no man pleaser. He's telling you. But in singleness of heart, singleness of mind, fearing the Most High. Fear the Most High. Not in man pleasing. You know, the Most High no respect of persons. So He tell you, don't be man pleasing. But think in one way, as He told you. One spirit.